Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is absolutely packed with updates, insights, and a few surprises that could shape NIO's future in a big way. There's a lot to talk about, so make sure you stay until the end because every part of this discussion connects to the bigger picture. We've got some exciting production news, a potentially trillion-dollar opportunity, and some behind-the-scenes details about NIO's in-house chip technology that you definitely need to know. Let's dive straight into it. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. To start off, let's talk about something that's going to make NIO owners and investors smile. Wait times for the NIO ES8 have officially been reduced by about 2 weeks. That's right, customers can now get their new SUV sooner than before. This might sound like a small change, but it actually signals something much more important about what's happening inside NIO's production facilities. Shorter wait times usually mean one of two things. Either production is ramping up, or demand is slowing down. Now, in this case, the most likely explanation is definitely increased production. NIO's third factory has been expanding rapidly, adding more workers, installing new equipment, and generally producing more vehicles than ever before. That fits perfectly with the company's hiring patterns and capacity updates we've seen over the past few months. The other possible scenario, cancellations, doesn't really make sense here. There's no solid evidence that buyers are backing out of their ES8 orders, especially given the strong demand trends we've been seeing. So, higher production output seems to be the clear answer. This is actually really good news for NIO, and not just because customers get their cars faster. It also matters from a financial perspective. The more vehicles NIO can deliver in Q4, the better their revenue performance will be before the next round of tax changes in Q1. Remember, NIO already said they plan to absorb some of the tax increases next year to protect buyers from higher costs. That kind of policy is great for customers but can squeeze margins temporarily. So if they can push out more deliveries this quarter, it'll help offset that impact and improve their overall profitability picture heading into 2025. Faster deliveries, better margins, and happier customers, that's a perfect combination for a company trying to strengthen its financial base. But that's not all. The next part of today's news could have massive long-term consequences for NIO and the broader Chinese EV market. It has to do with the rapidly changing world of AI chips and the sudden gap left behind by NVIDIA. Recently, NVIDIA's CEO made a statement that caught everyone's attention. He revealed that due to new export restrictions, NVIDIA has essentially gone from having a 95% market share in China to zero. Yes, zero. The company has been completely locked out of one of the biggest tech markets in the world. This ban doesn't just affect AI data center chips, it also includes consumer-level GPS like the RTX 4090. Those can't even be legally sold in China anymore. So what does that mean? It means there's now a huge vacuum in the market, and that vacuum affects not just gamers or data scientists, but also the entire self-driving car industry. NVIDIA's autonomous driving chips were widely used by several automakers, and now that supply is gone. Here's where NIO comes in. Unlike most EV manufacturers who rely on foreign chip suppliers, NIO has already developed its own autonomous driving chip, and it's a serious piece of technology. It's the first 5-nanometer chip designed and produced for use inside an actual car in China. This is an enormous milestone because it shows that NIO isn't just a car company anymore. It's becoming a deep tech company with control over its own hardware. With NVIDIA gone, many automakers in China are suddenly looking for local alternatives. There are only a few names capable of filling that void: Huawei, XPeng, and of course, NIO. Li Auto has been trying to develop something similar, but so far, they haven't been very successful. Huawei does have strong technology, but NIO's chip stands out for being not only powerful, but also cost-efficient. According to NIO's CEO, each vehicle using NIO's chip saves roughly 20k RMB compared to the old system that required 4 NVIDIA Orin X chips. That's a massive cost reduction, and it makes NIO's solution attractive both for themselves and for any other automaker looking to lower expenses. This opens the door to something much bigger. Imagine if NIO begins selling or licensing its chips to other automakers in China. That would completely change the company's image in the market. They wouldn't just be seen as a premium electric car brand anymore. They'd become a technology supplier, a company that builds both cars and the brains that power them. If NIO ever signs a chip supply deal with another automaker, that could instantly transform how investors value the company. It could even push NIO toward being seen as both an EV leader and a semiconductor player, two industries with massive growth potential. But before that can happen, NIO still has something to prove. In real-world autonomous driving performance, their system shows great promise but still has room for improvement. For example, in one test conducted with the latest ES8, the system was able to detect a pedestrian at night while moving at around 40 kilometers per hour. By comparison, Huawei's system in the Stellato R7 managed to perform the same detection at 110 kilometers per hour. That's a big difference, and it highlights the areas where NIO still needs to refine its software and hardware integration. To address this, NIO recently overhauled its NWM autonomous driving division. They've restructured the team, hired new engineers, and are now rebuilding the system from the ground up. The goal is to create a new version, something like NWM 2.0, that dramatically improves reaction times, object detection, and overall driving intelligence. Once they achieve that, it'll be much easier to convince other companies to adopt their chip technology. Until then, most automakers will likely wait to see consistent, top-tier performance before making any partnerships. Even with that, the potential here is massive. If NIO can demonstrate that its system can match or outperform Huawei's in key areas like night vision, lane detection, and reaction speed, it could open up entirely new revenue streams. We could be looking at a future where NIO earns not only from vehicle sales, but also from chip licensing, software subscriptions, and tech collaborations. That's a huge step toward long-term sustainability. So when you look at the big picture, NIO's trajectory is becoming very clear. They're no longer just trying to sell cars, they're building an entire ecosystem. From battery swapping to in-house software to autonomous driving chips, they're taking control of every layer of the value chain. This is exactly the kind of vertical integration that can turn a car company into a dominant tech force. If and when NIO announces its first chip partnership with another brand, it's going to be a major turning point. Investors will finally see NIO not just as a luxury EV company, but as a technology provider with products that could extend across the entire Chinese auto industry. That kind of shift could dramatically reshape the company's future and its valuation. To sum it all up, NIO is moving fast on several fronts. Production is improving, wait times are shorter, and profitability is getting stronger. At the same time, NVIDIA's departure from China has opened a massive gap that NIO is perfectly positioned to fill. Their chips are advanced, affordable, and built entirely in-house, a rare combination in today's market. They still have some technical ground to cover, but once they close that performance gap, the opportunities are nearly limitless. That's where we'll wrap it up for today. NIO's story is evolving quickly, and it's one of the most exciting ones in the EV industry right now. Whether it's faster deliveries, groundbreaking chips, or future partnerships, everything points to a company gearing up for its next big leap. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing, and see you in the next video.